In August 2024, Ola Electric Mobility Limited made a dramatic stock market debut. They were priced at 76 rupees, and the stock more than doubled in 2 weeks in the same month to 157 rupees. Now, this pushed Ola's market cap to nearly 65,000 crores. Investors were elated. They were celebrating like they'd found the next big superhero in the market. But fast forward to today, that same stock is trading well below its issue price. It's down 66% from its peak, with the market cap now having shrunk to 21,653 crores. 65,000 crores, 21,650 crores. A bit of a plot twist, right? So what exactly happened to the initially electrifying stock? Can Ola Electric bounce back? Will it ever become profitable? Let's dive in. Welcome to Bottom Line by Grow. So today, we are breaking down the rise, the fall, and the road ahead for Ola Electric. Now, let's start with the basics. Ola's entry into the EV space. So back in 2017, Bhavish Aggarwal, the co-founder of Ola Cabs, decides to launch Ola Electric to supercharge India's EV adoption. By 2019, he's raised serious funds at a cool $3 billion valuation. But there was just one tiny problem. He didn't have a product. Now, some friendship and partnership attempts with Ather got declined, and Bhavish goes on a Europe trip, and from Amsterdam he buys Ithargo BV, the makers of the app scooter. And back home, our engineers gave it a full desi makeover, and in 17 months, Ola started delivering its first scooter, the Ola S1 Pro, in December 2021. This is them operating at full sport, whiz, warp mode, whatever it may be. But to make this work, Ola built the so-called Future Factory in just 4 months. Now, this has a 2 million or 20 lakh capacity, and the ambitions are to hit 10 million units annually. This became the world's largest two-wheeler EV plant. No pressure. So, to this, you add some steep discounts and some 100 horsepower marketing, Ola quickly grabbed over 50% of India's electric scooter market through 23 and 24. So, all this is reasonably good, but then the trouble started. You see, what Ola had managed to gain in speed seems to have come at the cost of quality. Buyers started complaining about power cutoffs, sudden performance drops, and even the front fork arm braking. Now, this is the part that connects the handlebar to the front wheel. You know, the part that should ideally be in one place when you're riding. That started giving way and causing a bit of trouble. There were also some alarming fire incidents. There were some persistent service issues. You put all these together and you've eroded consumer trust. By mid last year, that's in 2024, more than 11,000 complaints had piled up with the National Consumer Helpline. It also got so serious that the Central Consumer Protection Authority issued a show cause notice to Ola on what is happening out here. Now, as a result of all this, you could compile these issues into a book called Ola and the Series of Unfortunate Events. And, well, Ola's market share crashed from 50% to just 20% in 1 year. By May this year, in 2025, Ola slipped to third place behind TVS and Bajaj. So, what happened next? You can work this out. Sales started limping, finances started hurting, and in February this year, vehicle registrations took a nosedive. Now, the company also had take some heat over a suspicious gap in sales data. Now, according to Vahan, that's our government's vehicle database, Ola registered 8,652 vehicles, while Ola claimed they sold 25,000 units. Now, the company blamed this on a registration backlog caused by a system shift under their grandly named Project Vistar. But that data gap raised a lot of eyebrows, including those at the Ministry of Heavy Industries and the Ministry of Road Transport. And this led to a brutal Q4 FY25. Now, losses more than doubled year on year to 870 crore rupees. Revenues tanked 62% year on year to 611 crore rupees. And the EBITDA margin, it was a staggering minus 101.4%. Yeah, that's a negative 101.4%. That's not a margin, that's a black hole. Now, deliveries also took a hit. It fell to a little below 51,400 units in Q4 FY25, and this is down from 1.15 lakh units a year before. Now, the CEO explained that low deliveries were due to shifting the registration process in-house under Project Vistar, and it was a one-time backlog issue. That kind of reads to, we have the orders, we just haven't delivered. Beyond all this, they also had to take a one-time 250 crore hit to cover warranty costs on those earlier Gen 1 and Gen 2 vehicles. So with all this in the scene, can Ola recover? Actually, yes, but it's going to be a steep climb. Hear us out. Here's what Ola could do to fix things. Now, first of all, quality. In March this year in 2025, they rolled out their Gen 3 scooters. Now, these offer 20% more power, better range, they cost 11% less to make, and they come with upgrades like brake-by-wire and dual ABS, fancy stuff. And their earlier defect rates are already cut in half. By June 2025, 2/3 of Ola's deliveries are expected to be these Gen 3 vehicles, and it's definitely an upgrade from their earlier era of "oops, my vehicle stopped again." So the first thing they can remedy is quality. 2. Improve those margins and cut costs. Now, gross margins improved to 19.2% in Q4 and could soon hit nearly 30%. Now, Ola says they can break even with just 25,000 units sold per month, and that's a much easier target for them. They've also tightened their belt, cutting their auto segment operating costs from 150 crores per month to 121 crores, and they're aiming for 110 crores under their Project Lakshya. Great new strategy. Let's not burn cash that fast, and that's a good idea. 3. They've got new products in the pipeline. In May this year, in 2025, they launched the Roadster X and X Plus, their first electric motorcycles. Now, this is a big moment, really. Now, the motorcycle market in India is twice-ish the size of the scooter market, so this could be Ola's second chance. And unlike the S1, the Roadster has actually gone through rigorous testing and rider feedback cycles, and it's about time they did that anyway. And they've also got some high-performance bikes in the pipeline like the Sportster and the Arrowhead that is coming soon. And the fourth thing they could do, better service and distribution with their Project Vistar. You see, Ola now has over 4,000 service and sales touchpoints, with more than half of it in rural and Tier 3 towns. Now, deliveries are now happening from stores, not from the factory. You're cutting transit time by half, you're reducing inventory days from 35 to 20, and also improving service turnaround to little over a day. Now, all this sounds like the math could actually add up, but competition is not sitting in the sidelines waiting for this saga to unfold. You've got your legacy players in TVS and Bajaj, and they're not just catching up, they're really pulling ahead. You've got their products iQube and Chetak EV, that's TVS's iQube and Bajaj's Chetak EV. They've gained serious ground because they've got reliability, they've got better distribution, and also these two legacy companies have that financial muscle to outspend Ola on marketing and R&D. And also you've got Ather in the fray. They've gone from being an underdog to being like a rising star. In Q4 FY25, their revenue overtook Ola's for the first time, and the market share jumped from 7.4% to 13.3% in a year. And that's not small. That's like pretty much coming in strong. And also in one more twist for Ola, you have Hyundai and Kia that have fully exited from their 690 crore rupee investment in Ola Electric, and they've cited weak performance and also a pivot towards hybrids. And to top it all off, the China restrictions on rare earth magnets. Now, these are key components for EV motors, and now they're threatening Ola's supply chain. To be really honest, we're waiting to see what the impact of it is for the world and not just for Ola. So that's the lay of the land. So what's your takeaway as an investor? 1, remember Ola Electric is betting big on its Gen 3 scooters and their new Roadster motorcycles. They're tightening costs. They're looking to offer better service to claw back on profitability. 2, they think they can break even in the auto segment if June-July 2025 can consistently deliver 25,000 units per month. 3, competition is fierce, investor confidence is shaky, and reputation for quality still needs some work. Ola's got the speed, but it now desperately needs trust from 3 quarters, which is customers, investors, and regulators. And the success or failure of the Roadster X, that could pretty much decide Ola Electric's future. What do you think? Can Ola Electric win back trust and reclaim the top spot? Let us know in the comments. And for more such sharp insights, don't forget to subscribe to Bottomline by Grow, because going electric is easy. Staying charged, that's the hard part.